Have you ever felt like your mind never truly rests, even when your body is completely exhausted? Jacob is a 4-year-old young man living in a small village surrounded by peaceful mountains. But in contrast to that quiet scenery, inside him exists a world of chaos. Every day, his mind is pulled in countless directions by an endless stream of thoughts. At times, he is haunted by regrets from the past. At others, he is consumed by fears of what might happen in the future. The more he tries to force himself to stop thinking, the stronger those thoughts become, like a storm raging endlessly in his head. Jacob can't sleep well. He can't enjoy life. He has even forgotten what it feels like to smile with ease. Even though he is surrounded by mountains, sunlight, and the sound of birds, he cannot feel any sense of peace. What hurts Jacob the most is not a lack of material comfort, but the feeling of being trapped inside his own mind. More than anything, he longs for a morning where he can wake up with a light heart, calm breath, and a truly peaceful mind. One day, Jacob heard the villagers talking about a wise old man who lived in a distant village up on the hill. They said he had once been a well-known psychologist in the city, someone who had helped many people overcome pain, anxiety, and the storms within their minds. But as he grew older, he left behind the noisy life and chose to live alone in nature, seeking true stillness. At first, Jacob didn't fully believe those stories. He had already tried many ways to find peace within himself, but nothing lasted. Everything faded after a short while. Still, deep inside, there was a small spark of hope. He told himself, if he can truly help others find peace, maybe I should give it a try too. So Jacob decided to set out on the journey. He didn't know how it would change his life, but he was certain of one thing. If he stayed with the same thoughts, he would remain trapped in his own mind forever. And sometimes, the journey to peace begins with the courage to walk away from what is hurting you. After many days of traveling across rough, winding paths, Jacob finally arrived at the small hilltop village where the wise old man lived. The man's house was simple, covered in lush green vines, and quietly separated from the noise of the outside world. The old man welcomed Jacob inside. Sitting in the room, Jacob spoke. "Sir, my mind never rests. I'm always thinking, always worrying. I'm so tired. I just want peace. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, looked at Jacob with a gentle gaze, and smiled. "Do you think peace is something I can give you?" Jacob froze, unsure how to respond. After a few moments of silence, the old man stood up and said, "If you truly want to understand, come with me. I won't give you the answer, but I will help you find it yourself." In that moment, Jacob didn't look back anymore. He understood that this was not just a meeting, but the beginning of a transformation. And perhaps Jacob's journey is also your journey. If you're tired of endless thoughts, keep following this story, because what you're searching for may be closer than you think. The old man offered no further explanation. Silently, he led Jacob to a small yard behind the house, where sunlight filtered gently through the leaves. The space was so quiet that Jacob could hear every beat of his own heart. Then, the old man picked up a glass, slowly pouring water into it until it reached the very brim, so full that the surface trembled, as if even the slightest movement would cause it to spill. He handed the glass to Jacob and said calmly, "Hold this glass. Walk from here to the end of the village and come back. But remember, you must not spill even a single drop." Jacob looked at the glass, then at the road ahead. He swallowed nervously. This was not a test of strength, but a test of control. Yet he did not hesitate. He nodded, took a deep breath, and began to walk. The village path was far from quiet. People moved about busily. Children ran and laughed. Voices echoed, dogs barked, and conversations filled the air. Some villagers looked at Jacob with curiosity, and a few even called out loudly to get his attention. But Jacob did not react. His eyes were fixed on the surface of the water. His hands held the glass tightly as he moved step by step, slowly and carefully, like walking on a thin line. At one point, a child ran past him and nearly bumped into him. Jacob's heart raced, and his hands trembled slightly. But he quickly regained control, tightened his grip on the glass, and continued forward. In that moment, the noise in his mind disappeared. There were no thoughts of the past or worries about the future. All that existed was the glass in front of him, and each step he was taking. After what felt like a very long time, Jacob finally returned. He let out a deep breath, his shoulders feeling lighter, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. He looked at the old man, his voice both tired and relieved. "Sir, I did it. Not a single drop was spilled." The old man smiled, his eyes deep and knowing. But it seemed that the real lesson had only just begun. The old man looked at Jacob and gently asked, "Did you hear the people talking, the dogs barking, or see the children running past?" Jacob paused, then shook his head. "No, I didn't notice any of that. I was only focused on the glass." The old man smiled. "That is exactly what you've been searching for. When your mind is fully focused on the present moment, all worries about the past and the future disappear. Not because they don't exist, but because you no longer give them a place." Jacob fell silent. For the first time, he realized that the problem wasn't that he thought too much, but that he had never learned how to control his attention. Jacob bowed his head before the old man, a strange feeling rising within him. It wasn't loud happiness, nor a fleeting excitement, but a deep sense of relief from within. For the first time in many years, he understood that peace was not something he had to travel far to find. It wasn't hidden in other people's praise, nor in the perfect future he had once anxiously chased. Peace had always been within him, his mind had simply been too noisy for him to hear it. As the sun began to set behind the hills, the last light of the day painted the narrow path in a warm golden glow. A gentle breeze moved through the trees, and the sound of birds returning to their nests echoed in the quiet space. Jacob stood still for a moment, feeling each breath he took. He was no longer pulled back by past mistakes, nor was he chasing fears about the future. In that moment, he was simply present. On his way home, Jacob walked more slowly than before. But this time, the slowness did not come from exhaustion, it came from peace. He noticed the colors of the sky, heard the rustling leaves, and felt his heartbeat becoming calmer. His life might not change overnight. The difficulties were still there, tiring days might still return. But something inside Jacob had shifted. He no longer saw his mind as the enemy. From that day on, whenever negative thoughts appeared, Jacob no longer tried to fight them. Instead, he gently took a deep breath, focused on the present, and reminded himself, "I am here. I am safe. I only need to fully live in this moment."